third quarter, a vital one for Essendon, kicking with the breeze. They trailed by 13 points. First bounce of the second half. Bombers with the wind. Wind. O'Donnell. Salmon tried to hack it off the ground. Liberatore. Hawkins. And the ball was within 5 metres.
He took the mark. Oh, I'd love to have another look at that.
You will, I think. And
Well,
Chris Grant gets
Come on,
up.
Bernie, if you take the mark and jump like that.
I was waiting for you to say, Robbo. I didn't think... let's have a look at it. Harvey jumps very early.
Eyes on the ball.
Eyes on the ball and takes a mark. I agree with you. That's a mark.
Free kick according to the umpire. And Thompson cops one. Would have got the mark or free kick. Ridley. What towering punt kick. That travels 65 metres. Over the top. Hurd just couldn't take it.
A great effort, wasn't it, Robbo, from Hurd? Gee, he's good overhead.
Well, he had to put himself in that contest. There were 3 Footscray players there.
A little bit of pushing and shoving. Hurd has kicked 1 goal, 1 for the Bombers so far.
He's picked up a long way down the list in the draft too. Number 79 in the 90 national draft, James Hurd.
Salmon runs straight at it. Wine. Oh, not a good hand pass. Went straight to Spawn. Couldn't handle it. Danaher grabbed. Hawkins. Is he playing a loose man in defence in this quarter? A tactic Terry Wheeler often uses in some pretty stiff breezes. This is Masiti. 37 possessions last week. An excellent job. Hawkins again. Atkins finally picking up a few. He's only had 6 though so far today. Harvey marks. Cannons into Stanfield. Test of strength. Harvey across the ground. Not too many options there. Doesn't need too many. Salmon takes them up.
Didn't mind showing the football to the umpire when he took that chest mark either. The kick goes in towards the forward pocket area. Plain overruns it. Mansfield is back there for Footscray. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. In the right forward pocket for Essendon. They really need to get a bit of a wriggle on in this third term if they're to have a chance. Scott Wind not too perturbed about just bashing it back over the boundary line. I think Footscray will be pretty satisfied if they can hold on here in this third term.
Well, the first 10 minutes very important here for Essendon. If they can establish some sort of pattern, get a couple of early goals, maybe get their tails up a little bit, and probably need to be 3 or 4 at least up at three-quarter time to have any chance.
Well, they have to eliminate the lead that Footscray hold at the moment, which is 13 points. James Hurd throws his foot at the ball and scores a behind. And James Hurd with 12 possessions. Delaney and Alessio. Alessio looked very, very proppy in that warm-up when they came back onto the ground.
I doubt if he'll have much further impact on this match, Stephen Alessio.
Reynolds to the defensive side of the ground. O'Donnell. A quick kick. Oh, a good lead by Hurd. And as such, well within kicking distance, an opportunity to bring up his 3rd goal.
I think that's a bit of pot luck there, isn't it? O'Donnell throwing the
Well, it
football on
was.
his boot.
It was. It was O'Donnell. He really didn't look into the forward line as to where he would be kicking it, but Hurd in front, of course, in the right position.
Distance won't be a problem, or it shouldn't be. And what's he done with that? Only one behind, so well, a bad miss from there with the breeze. Should have got it. 62 to 51.
Yes, I don't think chances will come much easier than that for James Hurd.
Pass is short. McPherson on the burst through half back. Strange old kick off the boot. Good mark. Yeah, it's excellent mark from Grant. Got up limping from a little altercation a short time back. Seems to be okay. McPherson moving well. Now one of the more experienced defenders in the competition. Ridley across the ground. Racing 2. Quill and Simons. Hills off the ground. Don't know that really going too much for his side. It's out of bounds underneath the coaster's box on the outer side. So boundary throw in with 21 minutes left in the third term. Wind and Salmon. O'Donnell. Simons. Wanganeen. Maybe a missed opportunity. Chris Danaher. West couldn't take it. Wanganeen dives. No free kick.
Would have given him about 7 out of 10 for that diving performance by
The swan dive.
Yes.
It was a good effort.
Yes.
Degree of difficulty.
No water, unfortunately.
Ground's pretty good though out there. No damage done. Salmon too tall. Beats the Brownlow medalist. Onto Hills. Doesn't get a favourable bounce. Quill. Good tackle. Ball spills free. Atkins overruns it. Masiti off the ground. Will it go over the boundary line in front of Liberatore and Cameron? It does. A boundary throw.
Joe Masidi in the picture. But 8 kicks and 9 hand passes so far. Free kick picked out of it. In the ruck contest, it's going to Essendon. Really, no, it could have been an advantage rule given to them there, but it goes back to Salmon, and he thumps it high in towards full forward. No mark taken. Sexton appealing for it. Bradley playing on the bottom. Umpire will bounce. 10-2 to 7-9. So the difference at half-time was 13 points. It's now 11. Salmon doing the ruck work. Tries to get it at the back. Hunter. Mercury away for Hills. Hills shot for goal. Back there. Well done, Hawkins. And goes to the defensive pocket as well and finds Reynolds. Peter's already mentioned Keenan Reynolds started his league career at Essendon. Well, that kick
That's a dangerous kick.
Set it up there for Simons to come in and climb all over the top of young West.
Well, you called it rubber in the first place, didn't you? You said he's gone to the defensive pocket, and then a very bad option taken by Keenan Reynolds, bringing it back right into play again.
Well, it has to be spot on, doesn't it? And that kick was certainly not that. So Michael Simons really has to kick this goal for Essendon. He sets it up with the breeze, and it floats away to the left-hand side and through for one behind.
It's getting off the hook, isn't it?
Bit of an anti-climax there for the Bombers. They've kicked 7-10. Footscray 10-2, and that really is the tale of the match so far. Footscray's accuracy in front of goal.
3 points Essendon's added this quarter. Footscray hasn't scored, so could have put a different complexion on things. Simons applies a tackle. Sexton comes out with it. McPherson from right half back. Plain shepherded off the contest. McPherson and Plain both from Clarence in Tasmania. Mansfield just off the edge of the centre square. Danny Delray can't take the mark. Kickett was right there with him. Atkins, bad hand pass. He doesn't dish out too many of those. A turnover here. Hills to Spawn. Spawn a quick kick off the ground. Didn't really control it well. Salmon a knockback. Back it comes to O'Donnell. Long kick by Gary O'Donnell down towards full forward. Who's dragged down? Hunter or Buick?
Advantage with Footscray.
So Sexton does the clearing up work. Harvey knocks it away. 2 Footscray players collide. Mansfield back to Atkins, finally getting into the football game. Looks for West. Oh, takes the mark. Good stuff.
He held him out very nicely there. Todd Ridley coming back with the flight of the ball.
And then West decides to play on quickly against the breeze. Centering kick has to be spot on. Finds Danny Delray, but too far out to score. 2 kicks from goal. From there, West again. Knocked down by Mercury. A quick hand pass. Atkins under pressure outside 50. High ball. Big timber needed here. Oh, yes. Allen. Well, he started in defence, Bernie. Where's he playing now?
Well, I think he may have just followed the play down. Shane Allen may have followed his own man down. But he did start off at centre-half back, filling in for the injured Peter Foster. And that's a good mark with the flight of the ball.
Has he kicked it like a defender, or is it straight? He's kicked it like a defender. One behind. Kicked by Shane Allen. His first score of the day. And Footscray's first score of this quarter. 11 points the difference.
Derek Kickett to bring it back into play. 10-3 plays 7-10. Beautiful long kick by Kickett. Well past the 50-metre line. Ridley couldn't quite take the mark. Attempted kick off the ground was by Salmon. And Scott Wine holding it up pretty well as Brian Wood, the Essendon runner, has some instructions for David Grenvold. Just near the right point of the square in Footscray's forward half. Salmon and Wine taken by Chris Danaher, but he was well tackled. Liberatore and Mercury had him. Away it goes to Quill. Quill's kick, good mark, excellent mark taken for Footscray by Stanfield. And he just maybe out of reach, I think. 50 metres into that breeze has proved a bit of a problem.
Yeah, definitely too far, I'd say, for Stanfield.
Gets under it a little bit. It'll drop in the front of the square. Could be an Essendon free kick to Harvey. In front, which was a good spot to be when the ball's dropping short like that. And he runs away to the right back pocket region. Kick is short for Hills. Sweeping hand pass. Thompson bounce awkward for him. Gives away a couple of metres. Back for Masidi. Masidi's kick is high. Out towards the wing. Reynolds high. McPherson caught. Good tackle. Hills and Liberatore, O'Donnell, and the umpire will rush in very quickly and take control.
Bounce on centre wing. O'Donnell goes up, loses out to Cameron. Haven't seen too much of him today. West, certainly one of Footscray's best players. Kicks into Grenvold. Masiti. Spawn. A late inclusion in the side. And Hurd marking on right centre wing. Short pass. Mercury or Salmon. It's the latter that takes the mark. Salmon decides to play on. Footscray with the numbers. Hawkins doing some sterling work in defence in this quarter. They could get themselves under a little bit of, put themselves under pressure here. Atkins finally to Kellett. He gets around Hurd. And good work. Salmon at the back. Can't take the mark. Gives away a quick hand pass. Mercury well tackled by Liberatore. He goes down. Liber looking for the free kick. No, says the umpire, it's out of bounds.
Many have tried and few have succeeded to get around Tony Liberatore. What a tackler.
What an appeal, though, for the... Can't I have this kick, umpire?
Well, he led the tackling last year. Second was Daylight. He was that far in front, Tony Liberatore. It was unbelievable.
Grenvold fumbles. Quill, the quick hand pass. Footscray working overtime in defence in this quarter. Stanfield. Essendon with the numbers. Front forward. Masiti. West. Quick kick to Colin marking in front of Thompson. Seemingly with plenty of time. He's looking for Danny Delray. Kick it right there with him doing a good job. Ball doesn't bounce too kindly. Delray, you'll have to get rid of it. Danny pretty quickly. He does. Colin can't get the hand pass out. Now finally West should go from there and does. West gets his fourth. Well, Footscray battling hard for that score. Their first goal with the turn, and what a valuable one against the Breeze.
Yes, and Essendon still yet to score a goal in this third quarter, kicking with the Breeze. So not looking good for the Bombers at this stage. Good work here by Danny Delray. Avoided that bump, fed the hand pass out to Steve Kolonyuk, and there's a very impressive player in West.
Scott Wine takes the ball away, but his hand pass intercepted. This one's not. Kellett runs with the football. Kick into the pocket. Delray.
Beautiful play. Very important to win the ball out of the middle. Scotty Wine ended up with a couple of possessions there, getting a few pats on the back from his teammates in Atkins and Cameron. And Kellett, who's been a very impressive player also for Footscray. Terrific pass to the lead of Delray.
The two Scots are doing well, aren't they? They're in the record 14 and 15. West has kicked 4 goals. And Wine, his usual solid self.
Delray for goal number 5, but the breeze blowing right across the face. Kolonyuk! Snapshot. Misses. Crowd goes up. Everyone goes up. Steve Kolonyuk misses. 11-4. Plays 7-10. Difference 18 points. Kick it goes short. Mark taken by Grenvold.
Crisis time for Essendon, isn't it? To get back into this match. Harvey. Salmon has the height, doesn't come down with the mark. Danaher, good tackle by Kolonyuk out to Liberatore, looking for options, tries to get up to Kolonyuk again, couldn't do so. Thompson in trouble. Simon's a chance. Liberatore on the bottom of the pack. Cameron runs into a brick wall. Now Thompson, awkward looking left footer, under pressure, has kicked it straight to McPherson, looking for a 50-metre penalty. Wine lopes after it, will get it. Atkins getting more out of him in the second half. Awkward bounce for Delray. Kicker charges through. Stanfield, the boy from Fish Creek, can he kick a goal? No, he can't. It's out of bounds on the full. The free to Essendon will be taken Bradley Plain, I think. Yes, it is. Plain in the right back pocket. Sheedy making plenty of moves to try to get the Bombers moving. Quill, who started on the bench, not a good pass. That allows Plain in. Stanfield can't catch him. Plain along the boundary line. Well, big fly from Ridley, and the ball fisted out of bounds on centre wing. And it will be a throw in at that position. 11.5 minutes only left in the third term. And still the Bombers trail. O'Donnell tackled by Atkins. Liberatore loses out to Spawn. And it's all tied up again.
3 tackling there from Footscray onto Paul Salmon. It's always a good indication of how the teams are going when you get that sort of keenness and, well, courage around the packs. And Footscray certainly prepared to put their bodies in today and do the bulk of the tackling.
Well, the ruckmen go at it. Salmon and Wind. Punched on by Quill. Little tap by West for Atkins. Hills goes after it, but he's beaten for it by McPherson. Hand pass for Atkins, in turn to Cameron. They've got some beautiful run going. Footscray from the middle of the ground. And a mark is taken by Collingham. Frustration by Kickett. But Collingham a clean mark right in front of goal.
It's made for him, that one, Bernie, wasn't it?
Yes, it certainly was, Pete. Good work again around midfield. Cameron has been a real success story as a ruck rover.
Well, they were the 2 players you said at half-time had to make more of their opportunities, Atkins and Cameron.
Collingham kicks the goal. That's his second. So now West with 4, Del Rey with 4, and Collingham with 2. The leading goal scorers for Footscray.
And Footscray now kicking 2 goals too into the breeze, and Essendon only the 3 behinds. And that's Cameron. If he finds a little bit of space, he is a very dangerous player because he delivers the ball so beautifully into that forward line. And Steve Collingham also very dangerous.
10 minutes left only in the 3rd term, and things looking a bit black for the Bombers. They'll be going home against the breeze, and Paul Salmon gives them a lift. They need something.
A big loss also with Alessio on the bench because it's taken an option away from that Essendon forward line.
Salmon in the ruck, yes. Wind beats him. Not easy to do. Cameron onto West. Shepherders by Quill. Danaher underneath it. Del Rey couldn't take the mark. Grant, well tackled by Harvey. Danaher's there too. Good tackle by Kickett on Del Rey. Danaher, Mercury at right half back. Bombers out of danger. Buick calling for it at midfield. Doesn't see him or doesn't go that way. Maybe he should have, but Plain is there. It's better on the forward line. That's where he's kicked it. Marking contest. Big pack of players. Footscray through section. A socket away by Wanganeen. I think it might have been. And Gavin has kicked it out of bounds. So in Essendon's forward pocket, at least that's a good sign, with 9.5 minutes left in the term. They need a goal here. Boundary umpire just getting down there gives you an indication of the speed with which the ball travelled. Ruckman go at it again. Wine will go for the boundary line. Has Salmon won a free kick? Bernie, was there really anything in that?
It may have been on the shoulder of Salmon. That's the only thing. The umpire indicating a shove out as well.
But don't you see that 100 times during the day?
You know what he's asking the umpire?
What's that?
Do you want us to be basketballers? This is a contact game, isn't it?
Well, as long as the contact's fair, Robbo. Let's have a look at the replay. We'll have a look at it closely. Well, the question is, was he in his back? Was Salmon acting? You have to. Well, was he acting then?
There's just nothing in it.
All right. Salmon for his second, with Essendon's first goal in the 3rd quarter. Goal umpire moves across and indicates full points.
Tell you what, it's a big penalty to pay, isn't it? That close to goal, and it just gives Essendon some sort of a sniff.
Hawkins giving him an earful. I think I know what he was saying.
Well, if you're prepared to put your body in front, as Salmon did on that boundary throw-in, if there's any free kicks going to be paid, the player in front will receive the free kick.
I don't think we dispute that a free kick could be given for an infringement. I think he was saying that the acting ability of Paul might have been more than was required. Valuable goal to Essendon. 12-4, plays 8-10. The Bombers still in this. Under 9 minutes left, though, in the 3rd quarter, and they need some quick goals still.
And Scott Wine went at that with a lot of venom and got the ball out of the centre. Grant was nearly a terrific half volley, showed great courage to put himself into the contest. West, skillfully. West for goal number 5, personally. Yes!
Brilliant play.
Magnificent football by Footscray. And they answer that goal from Salmon emphatically.
Well,
13-4 to 8-10.
Scotty West showed just how important it is to get that centre bounce knockout, and he did the follow-up work as well. Chris Grant put his body in. Terrific courage there with Bomber Thompson coming in on top of him. And here's a player Footscray I'd have to be very impressed with today. 5 goals off his boot. A real find as a rover.
Only 19. Not even 19 yet.
Scotty West coming from Strathmore. Played 21 games in the BSFL last year. Don't think he'll be playing too many this year. Can they get it out of the centre again? They can. Here comes Cameron. Cameron at right half forward against the breeze. Screws it back well. Kick it in front. Can't take the mark. Delray can.
Well, there might be a problem also with Salmon because he's gone back to the forward line and Kransberg is trying to compete with Scotty Wine in the ruck. He's got no hope. Again, Footscray winning the ball out of the middle. It's set up here beautifully for Danny Delray. Kick it caught in front.
No problems for Essendon. Delray for goal. And gets it. Number 5 for Danny Delray. Scott West has also kicked 5. Colin Yook 2, singles to Grant and Sexton.
Well, the 2 quarters by Footscray into the breeze have been exceptional. Scotty Wine winning the knock out in the centre bounce there. Cameron with great dash into the forward line, but Footscray 5 goals against the win in the first quarter. And now 5 in this term.
Footscray continue to kick accurately. 14-4, Essendon 8-10. And the difference stretched out now to 30 points. Kransberg doing the ruck work against Wine. O'Donnell kicks it forward. Punched away by Hawkins, was very strong. Thompson and West. Down goes West. Down goes Thompson. Quill's a chance. Gets the hand pass back. It was a little too severe there for Steve McPherson. Wanganeen just pushes him straight in the middle of the back.
Looked obvious, didn't it, Robbo? The crowd not happy, but it was obvious from here.
And he's got a bit of a wry smile on his face, Wanganeen. I don't think the Essendon players can afford that. McPherson's kick holding up in the breeze. In front, Wine. She's a good player. Such a valuable person in this Footscray lineup. Brownlow medalist and leading from the front in season 1993. Ball comes to the back. Grenvold. Down he goes from the Quill tackle. Liberatore in there. And Quill comes up with a football.
Gee, that is important. 5-0. Centre breaks in favour of Footscray in this third quarter.
Kransberg gets the tap down. Hills. Handball for Buick. Buick. One bounce and then kicks it in towards centre half forward. Great mark. Well done, Sexton, in front of Salmon. Good strong mark under pressure. Goes to the defensive side of the ground and finds Wine. Looking to get past Delaney. Gets the hand pass away for McPherson. He gets past Plain. Handball for Hunter. In a little bit of trouble, but he's able to collect his thoughts and kick it long towards half forward. Grant and Harvey. Harvey making it difficult for Chris Grant and hanging on when Grant didn't have the football. Mark Harvey, you've got to be a little bit careful now between now and the final siren that you don't let your frustrations just take over. O'Donnell and Liberatore. Mercury. Liberatore again, but can't control it. So Tony Liberatore, 4 kicks and 9 hand passes. I guess you've got to give a bit of credit there to O'Donnell, who's been his marker for most of the day. There's Gary O'Donnell trying to get the ball clear. Hills tackled there by Stanfield. And the players not able to do much with the footy. So the umpire will bounce.
Down at the Footscray so far as the report on Tony Liberatore. On Gavin Wanganeen earlier in the game. Kransberg taps down. Finds Grenvold, who gets taken out of it with a good hip and shoulder by Quill. It was an excellent bump from Quill. Coming from East Fremantle. Drafted last year in the national draft at number 32. Kransberg at the back. And a clean possession. Hills taps down. West, he's kicked 5 already. That won't be a goal. It'll be a free kick going to Atkins. Simon Atkins started slowly. 14 possessions so far. Has had a lot of those in the third quarter. 9 and 5. Back up to quarter time, I think he'd only had 1 kick. Most unlike him. Against the breeze, 60 metres out. Gee, that's a decent sort of a roost. Footscray players in number. Simons. Kellett, one of the quickest, not only at Footscray, but in the competition. Right foot snap won't quite make the distance. Stanfield taps down. Well, it's not Stanfield, it's Grant. Ball still in play and taken over the boundary line by Shane Allen. Finally, throw in the almost in the right forward pocket for the Bulldogs. Just on 4 minutes left in this term. At the back, Kransberg. Couldn't find the teammate. Now Kransberg does it himself. Long kick out of defence. McPherson took courage. Spawn was coming at him and has conceded a free kick. Quill on his own. Will he keep going? No, he won't. Too far out to score, you would suggest. Certainly against the breeze. Delray making a lead. Kick it going there with him. Kransberg has kept it in, has he? Kick it right on the boundary line. Gary O'Donnell. Defensive 50-metre line. Still he goes. A pretty good game today, as he always does. Ridley. And right centre wing has taken them up.
Ridley will have to move it quickly. Not too much time left in this third quarter if Essendon are to make any sort of a surge. Back there, Hunter for Footscray. And goes to the defensive side where they could have raffled that. McPherson and Scott Wine. Wine's kick, pretty good. Well done, Barry Stanfield. Doing a pretty good job. Kick it towards half-forward. That should be a free kick, shouldn't it? Surely.
No doubt.
To Colin.
Footscray making the play, aren't they, Robbo? And they're putting their bodies in front.
A bit dispirited.
They do. You can see that. Well, I thought when the wry smile from Wanganeen earlier.
Yeah, it's not a good sign, is it? That Grant held. Could have nearly been awarded a free kick. Thompson's underneath that. And the umpire will bounce in the right forward pocket for the Bulldogs. They're 14-4, Essendon 8-10.
Just a replay. Chris Grant getting rid of it. A good umpiring decision, I feel, there.
And from that ruck contest, it's bashed over the boundary for a throw-in. About 40 metres, maybe a little closer to Footscray's goal. We've got just 2 minutes left. Thompson, under a bit of pressure, threads his way through and kicks it out of the danger zone for Essendon, out towards the wing. And a big punch by Hunter on Plain. Boundary throw-in on centre wing as one of the boys has lost their boot. It's Bradley Plain. And really like slippers, those things, the way he put it back on then.
Boundary throw-in on centre wing. Time running out for the Bombers in the third quarter. Wine was certainly lifted in this third term. Valesio off the ground. Kellett runs at Mercury. Quick hand pass back to O'Donnell on the Hills. A quick kick. Oh, beautiful kick. 60 metres at least, but that one down towards the 50-metre line. Hawkins has done some excellent work in this quarter and nearly goes up the race. Not time to knock off yet, Dougie.
I don't think there'll be any drama about him playing his 300 games.
No worries at all.
He's still valuable, isn't he?
Very valuable. Loose man in defence. He plays this ground beautifully, Doug Hawkins.
Fast approaching the 300. Barring injury, of course. Hunter gives the hand pass to Cameron. Marking contest. Almost brought down by Simons. Harvey. Kransberg. O'Donnell in front of Liberatore. Get it moving, Gary, quickly. Just over a minute left. Or maybe that wasn't a good option. Mercury couldn't take the mark, and Colin has got up. Haddock now to move in. West will do the shepherding to keep Mercury at bay. Can he run down and kick a goal? On to 50, on to West. Can he make it 6? Long goal! Yes, sirree! 6 goals to Scott West, 94 to 58.
Well, Robbo, if they weren't dispirited before, I think they certainly will be after that passage of play.
A bad hand pass.
Bad option, wasn't it, from Gary O'Donnell? Probably the player there, Mark Mercury, may have been looking into the sun. He didn't really attack the ball. Colin recognised the danger. Good shepherding here from Scotty West initially. Colin he knew he was about to be tackled, but great support. Can this player run? Scotty West, and that's his 6th goal.
Yeah, top effort in the last minute before three-quarter time to get the 6th goal personally, but Footscray's 15th. Ball at centre-half forward for the Bulldogs. Essendon defence under enormous pressure. Harvey's able to gather the ball and kick it back towards centre-half forward, where the mark is taken by Salmon. And some ironical cheers coming.
Yeah, that's a bit unfair.
Well, he's taken 7 marks.
Gee, what do you got to do?
Paul Salmon is 60 metres from goal. Kicks it in towards the pocket where Bradley Plain takes an uncontested chest mark. And this will probably be, well, certainly be the last kick of the quarter. So Footscray at three-quarter time will remain at 15 goals 4, which is terrific scoring on a day where the breeze has been a little fluky going down to this left-hand end. to which Bradley Plain is kicking now. Essendon 8-10. Plain could make it 9-10, and it's a good kick by Plain. It's a goal. So at three-quarter time, Footscray lead 15-4, 94. Essendon are 9-10, 64.
The name of